Have you ever stopped to think about the air you breathe? Every single breath you take, thousands of times a day, fuels a remarkable process deep within your chest. This process, known as gas exchange, is the silent, life-sustaining engine that powers every cell in your body. It's an elegant and incredibly efficient system, happening constantly without any conscious effort from us. Today, we're going to take a journey deep inside the human respiratory system to uncover the secrets of how our lungs perform this vital function. Our journey begins with a simple act: inhalation. As you breathe in, air enters through your nose or mouth. Your nasal passages are more than just an entryway. They warm, moisten, and filter the air, removing dust and other particles before they can reach the delicate tissues of your lungs. From there, the air travels down the pharynx or throat, past the larynx, which houses your vocal cords, and into the trachea, also known as the windpipe. The trachea is a sturdy tube, reinforced with rings of cartilage that keep it open, ensuring a clear pathway for air. The trachea then branches into two smaller tubes, called the primary bronchi, one leading to the right lung and the other to the left. As we follow the air further, you'll notice these bronchi continue to divide, like the branches of a tree, into smaller and smaller airways called secondary and tertiary bronchi, and then into even tinier tubes known as bronchioles. This intricate network of branching airways is often called the bronchial tree. Its purpose is to distribute the inhaled air evenly and efficiently throughout the entire lung. The very end of these microscopic bronchioles, we arrive at our final destination, the alveoli. The lungs contain hundreds of millions of these tiny balloon-like air sacs, clustered together like bunches of grapes. If you were to flatten out all the alveoli in an adult's lungs, their total surface area would be enormous, roughly the size of a tennis court. These vast surface area is the key to the efficiency of gas exchange. It's here, in this microscopic world, that the true magic happens. Now, let's zoom in on a single alveolus. The wall of each alveolus is incredibly thin, just a single cell thick. This delicate structure is wrapped in a dense web-like network of tiny blood vessels called capillaries. These capillaries are also just one cell thick. The blood flowing through them has just returned from a long journey around the body, delivering oxygen to tissues and collecting a waste product, carbon dioxide. This deoxygenated blood is dark red and is now ready to be refreshed. The barrier between the air inside the alveolus and the blood inside the capillary is astonishingly thin, less than a micron thick. This minimal distance is crucial. Tips across this respiratory membrane that gas exchange occurs, driven by a simple physical principle: diffusion. Diffusion is the natural movement of particles from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Let's first look at oxygen. The air you just inhaled is rich in oxygen, meaning the concentration of oxygen inside the alveoli is very high. In contrast, the blood arriving in the capillaries has just given up its oxygen to the body's cells, so its oxygen concentration is very low. This difference in concentration creates a pressure gradient. Like water flowing downhill, oxygen molecules effortlessly diffuse across the thin alveolar and capillary walls, moving from the high concentration environment of the alveoli into the low concentration environment of the blood. As oxygen enters the bloodstream, it doesn't just dissolve freely. Most of it quickly binds to a special protein found within our red blood cells called hemoglobin. Each red blood cell contains millions of hemoglobin molecules, and each hemoglobin molecule can carry up to 4 oxygen molecules. This binding process is what gives oxygenated blood its bright red color. Hemoglobin acts like a fleet of delivery trucks, efficiently capturing the oxygen and preparing it for transport to every corner of the body. Without hemoglobin, our blood wouldn't be able to carry nearly enough oxygen to meet our body's demands. Simultaneously, while oxygen is moving into the blood, another exchange is happening in the opposite direction. The blood that arrived at the lungs is laden with carbon dioxide, a waste product generated by our cells during metabolism. Therefore, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the capillary blood is high. Conversely, the air inside the alveoli, fresh from the outside, has a very low concentration of carbon dioxide. Following the same principle of diffusion, carbon dioxide moves down its own concentration gradient. It travels from the high concentration environment of the blood, across the capillary and alveolar walls, and into the low concentration space of the alveoli. This process happens at the exact same time oxygen is diffusing into the blood. Once the carbon dioxide is in the alveoli, it mixes with the air that is waiting to be exhaled. Now, the process completes with exhalation. The diaphragm and chest muscles relax, causing the chest cavity to shrink. This increases the pressure inside the lungs and pushes the carbon dioxide-rich air out of the alveoli, up through the bronchial tree, through the trachea, and finally out of your nose or mouth. The blood, now freshly oxygenated and cleansed of excess carbon dioxide, leaves the lungs and travels back to the heart. The heart then pumps this revitalized, bright red blood throughout the body, delivering the precious oxygen to every organ, tissue, and cell, from your brain to the muscles in your toes. This entire beautifully coordinated cycle of inhalation, gas exchange, and exhalation makes up the process of respiration. It happens about 12 to 20 times every minute when you're at rest, and much faster when you exercise, as your body's demand for oxygen increases. It is a continuous rhythmic process that sustains us from the moment we are born until our very last breath. 2. It's truly remarkable how this complex exchange of gases, occurring on a microscopic scale across a surface area as large as a tennis court, is so perfectly designed to be quiet, efficient, and completely automatic. It ensures that our cells are constantly supplied with the oxygen they need for energy, and that the waste product, carbon dioxide, is effectively removed. So, the next time you take a deep breath, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey that air is taking, and the life-giving exchange that allows you to think, to move, and to live. Thank you for joining this exploration of the respiratory system. We hope this has given you a clearer understanding of the amazing process of gas exchange. For more educational content, be sure to follow our channel.